Happy new beginnings. It is the beginning of a new month. October is over and done and gone. October 2024. That is a month that we will never experience again. We'll experience more Octobers, God willing, but we will never experience again another October of 2024. So, whatever you chose to do in October of 2024. Let's hope that it is going to make a difference in what October of 2025 is going to look like. And even like in this November, what did you do in October that is going to make November look a little different for you? So, that is just something to think about. I had to change the pages on my calendar, and I just remembered to do it today. And I was like, wow, I only got 2 pages left on my calendar. This year is gone. You might as well say this year is gone. And these weeks just fly past so quickly. And what we do now, we have to do things that's going to make a difference, and that is probably one purpose of me coming to you guys with these life lessons, is to remind you that I hope that you are doing things daily to make a difference to what your tomorrow is going to look like. I know a lot of people are not where they want to be, and it doesn't matter what age or what stage or what phase that you are in life. I know that there is things that we want to see change in our lives, no matter what that might be. So whatever that change that you want to see happen in your life, I hope to think that you are doing something to come closer to actually making that thing a reality for yourself. So I'm just here to encourage you. I am just simply here to encourage you, and I want to think about that for myself too. Some days when I feel like my days are not very productive, I'm like, listen, I don't appreciate that. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes I'm really tired. My body has gone through a lot of changes, but I don't want to make excuses for myself. I want to push myself. I'm trying to discipline myself more. I'm trying to get more sleep at night so I can be more productive during the day, and all of those things, like whatever I have to do to get more done during the day. So I'm like working on myself like from scratch, because I know that there are things that I want to do, that I want to see happen in my future. So we are at the end of the year. We are in November. That's crazy. Like, that is crazy. We are in November of 2024. It seems like these months just flew by so fast. What happened? What happened in your months? I had so much happen from January of 2024 to November of 2024. I've been literally traveling all year. I've been in a car accident. I just had so many things. I lost someone very dear to me that was like the biggest affected loss that I had in a very long time, that I'm still like trying to wrap my head around, and just allowing myself to be where I am. If it's unsettling, it's unsettling. If it hurts, let it hurt. If you have to cry, if you need more time to wrap your mind around things, just to be in a good place mentally, I'm accepting where I am and working towards moving where I want to be. I am only human. I'm learning how to forgive myself. I'm learning how to be more kind to myself. I am learning how to discipline myself more. I mean, this may not be for everybody, and I'm not saying just because that's where I am, that's where you should be, but these are just things that I am applying to myself, and all of this comes with experience of not being forgiving, of not taking good care of myself mentally, with not dealing with the loss of loved ones and taking time out to heal the way that I know I need to heal, and trying to hurry up and heal and not think about it and not talk about it because people think that you should be healed by now. No, I'm being more sensitive to my own emotions now. I'm not, babying myself up or anything like that. I know life goes on and there's still things that I want to do in life, but I'm accepting my emotions for what they are. I'm trying to study my emotions and learn more about how I feel so I can deal with my emotions accordingly. I'm trying to teach myself how to be more mentally stable, how to get rid of all of the negative thoughts and get rid of the negative emotions and things that is not serving me to the next level of my life, and kind of fill myself with as much goodness that I can possibly fill myself with. Positive thoughts, positive habits, and all of those type things that I want to see have a positive reflection on my life moving forward. The biggest thing is my mental habits and not allowing myself to think negatively. I'm telling you, if that is not something that you have gotten in the habit of working on, I strongly encourage you to focus on your mental habits as often as possible. Be mindful of the way that you think on the moment to moment basis. That is going to have a huge impact on what your life is going to look like. It ain't easy. It is not easy. Those negative thoughts is going to come. And with negative thoughts comes negative actions and negative emotions and a negative life. I'm telling you, these things are like a domino effect. And I want too much out of my future. If this is one thing that I can control, of me learning how to have more positive thoughts, because I want to see the things become my reality, the desires of my heart become my reality. And if it's going to start with how I think, and that is one thing that no one has control over but me, then I just need to buckle down and do what I gotta do. Like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. I had a negative experience. It ain't had nothing to do with me out in public. And I just tried to spread so much positivity. And it's like sincere from my heart. This is what I want to see reflect on the world, people around me. I just want positive experience. So I went out in public. I had to run an errand, and I witnessed negativity from one human being to another human being that was unnecessary. And I was like, wow, that human being could have been way more positive to the other human being. And it was very disappointing. It was very disappointing for me to witness that. But I was like, I wanted to tell somebody so bad because of the person that was wrong in the ordeal. And literally, this was like maybe 2 weeks ago, and this is the first time that I'm speaking of it. I don't even want to say exactly what the situation was, but because of the negativity of it, I just didn't even want to think about it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to spread it. I was like, I just don't even want to talk about it because it's negative, and I don't want to settle with negative. I don't want to think about negative. I don't want to talk about negative. And as many opportunities that I had to tell somebody. I even saw the person while I was with another person, and I was like so tempted to point the person out to the person that I was with and all that. I was like, you know what? Negative brings negative. I just don't even want to talk about it. And I chose to talk about something that was positive. So those are the choices that I'm choosing to make nowadays, to just kind of like rid myself. And I'm so proud of the way that, I want about that I'm able to sit before you guys and tell you, like, that is a choice that I'm making. It might seem like something small, but it's so huge on the reflection that it's going to have on your life when you choose not to think and talk about negative things. You can just choose to talk and think about positive things just to make the world around you more positive. So those are the things that I am working on within myself. I want to see my next year looking better. I mean, a lot of things happened in 2024 that were completely beyond my control. By the grace of God, I am still here, still alive, still able to talk about the things that God has allowed me to make it through. But I see big things happening for myself in 2025, and it's going to take persistence and hard work, and I'm going to have to put in the work, and not just the physical work. I'm going to have to put in the internal work as well. I'm going to have to dig deep down inside of myself and put away some negative thinking habits and do whatever I have to do. You have to be very creative in your growth and all these things, your self-improvement. I'm like, whatever it is that I have to do to obtain the things that I'm looking forward to obtaining in my future, I am absolutely willing and ready to do those things, because that's how bad I want to see these things happen for me in my future. So that's just a little bit of what I have been experiencing for the past few weeks, but I am so glad to be here. Peace, kings and queens. Come on in and welcome to this week's life lesson. We have made it to another week's life lesson. So together, let's journey into a time and space that is going to take us to a higher level in life. I believe where there is elevation, there is hope, destiny, and new life. So we all want those things for ourselves. I believe my whole journey of self-improvement to me has been about growth and elevation. Growth and elevation. We don't want to stay stagnant in the same place that we have been in for I don't know how long. And a lot of people are stuck in some of their old ways, old habits, not growing, not elevating, not allowing themselves to be open-minded enough for them to go to the next level of their life. It's all going to begin in your mind. Where you are mentally is going to have everything to do with what your future is going to look like. That's why I work on myself so much mentally, because I know where my mind is where my life is going to be. So this is where we are today. Let's think about elevating and growing and getting closer to our destiny and having just a little more hope for our future. So before we get there, let's dive into a spirit of silence gratitude. Listen, y'all know how I do. For those of you who are familiar with my life lessons, I don't do this with every message that I deliver. Sometimes I deliver 30-minute powerful packed motivational messages. Sometimes I deliver 1-minute power pack motivational messages. But in my life lessons, that is a part of my life lessons where you don't have to join in with me. I woke up in the spirit of gratitude. When I lay my head down at night, I'm going to lay down in the spirit of gratitude. But collectively, there is power in numbers. If we do this together, we can lift up the spirit of gratitude. That is one of the greatest, most powerful emotions that is the least notice. We don't show gratitude as much as we probably should. We don't show gratitude to one another, just thanking each other for whatever, lifting up the spirit of gratitude when we're interacting with our family members or our loved ones or the cashier at Walmart or whoever. And we don't show enough gratitude to our higher power. I have some of us out here who love to be in the spirit of gratitude, constantly thanking your higher power for where you are. But I love being in the spirit of gratitude. It helps me. I would rather having gratitude is a gift for me. So that is something that I would rather have more than anything. Without me being able to thank my creator, my higher power for where I am and for the things that I have, I don't know where I would be. I know that I am not the giver of my own gifts. I know these things come from an entity that is way bigger than I can ever even imagine or wrap my mind around. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope God, my creator, hear me saying thank you to him as often as I possibly can. Like, we are more blessed than we give ourselves credit to be. We did not have to wake up this morning. For that alone, I am very grateful. So together, I like to close my eyes, take a couple deep breaths, and just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And just saying thank you for the things that I am mostly thankful for, especially in these moments. Number one, before we get into this life lesson, it puts us in a more positive headspace. It raises our vibration. It helps you focus on getting whatever you want to receive out of this life lesson with openness, clear-minded, not being offended. If I say something that might float your little teeny rowing boat and that might strike a nerve, something that you don't like, listen, it's not personal. I am speaking to myself as well. Some lessons that I learned in life ain't comfortable. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about my flaws and what's wrong with me and what I need to change, let alone hear somebody else thinking. I get motivation from different sources. I don't just motivate myself. I receive motivation from different sources and I give motivation, and it's not always easy. It's not always pretty. Sometimes you got to check yourself. But if I am not in receptive mode, if I don't put myself in a good headspace while I am trying to better myself, of course everything that somebody say, I'm going to feel like they offended me. And it's not personal. It is not personal. It's genuine. It's from the heart. I'm giving you my personal experiences, and I'm doing what I believe God is calling me to do. And I want to do it in a spirit of gratitude. I want to do it in good spirits. I want to do it in a spirit of high vibration, good intentions, and I want you to be able to receive it that way as well. So I think this portion of the life lesson is very, very important. It's totally up to you whether you want to join in with me with silent gratitude. We're only going to take a few moments to do this before we jump into this week's life lesson. So here we go. That always does so much for me. Honestly, it does. That always does so much for me. Hold up. I want to turn my ringer off. So, yeah, I love it. I love just being in the spirit of gratitude all the time anyway. It literally just raises my vibration so much. Even if I'm feeling down, or if I notice that I have let my thought patterns go to a place where I would rather them not be, I just start thanking God. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And opposed to me being in that negative thought pattern, that negative mood, just me being in the spirit of gratitude always turns that thing around, make me feel better, make me feel good about where I am, just turn my negative emotions into positive emotions. So if you feeling in a way that you would rather not feel, you feeling sad, you feeling lonely, you feel like you're allowing your negative thoughts to get the best of you, and now you just don't feel good at all, you're starting to feel depressed, or you're starting to feel anxiety about what's going to happen next, or about the bills, the car, the kids, the cat, and all that stuff, just start thanking God. Just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm not going to worry about it, because I know you ain't bring me this far just to bring me this far. And I know if you brought me this far, you're going to take me even further. That ain't everybody's mindset, but it's mine. That's why I take time out to be in the spirit of gratitude as often as I possibly can. One reason is simply because it makes me feel better. So if you don't do it for any other reason, then do it because of that. But anyway, are y'all ready for this week's life lesson? So God gave me once. God gave me once. God said, we're going to focus on our once. Y'all know I've been on this little streak of like feel good messages. And I've been talking about these feel good messages, just exiting out of 2024 and entering in 2025. I'm like, what we going to think about? What we going to do? What we going to focus on? Listen, I am just a mere suggestion. You don't have to do any of what I am speaking to you about. If you want to see your life shift in a different direction and kind of change your focus a little bit and see things happening for yourself, the way that you treat yourself is going to be a reflection of how the world in turn treats you. A lot of people don't get the treatment that they desire from other human beings because you don't even know how to treat yourself. Why should I treat you right if you don't know how to treat yourself right? So we're going to learn how to do what we need to do for ourselves, kind of lift up some of our wants. We did hopes, we did desires, we did dreams. Oh my gosh, I got a list of things. We did wishes. I believe wishes was last week. We did happiness. We did hope. If you missed out, we did destiny. If you missed out on, we did dreams. If you missed out on any of these feel-good messages, please, I encourage you to go back either to my YouTube channel, that's True Value Knowing Your Worth on YouTube, or go back to my Facebook channel and look up some of these feel-good messages. Listen, I don't know where you are. I don't know where you are in your life right now, what you got going on or what you going through, and I ain't even going to guess because I am busy trying to do what I got to do for myself. I'm trying to figure out my own situation. And while I'm trying to figure out my own situation, I'm going to get down to the nitty gritty of things. And the nitty gritty of things is going to be, especially with a message like once. We're going to talk about wants today. Sakira, why you don't have what you want in life? Why don't you have what you want in life? Have you been focusing on your wants? Are you going to focus on your wants? Do you plan on focusing on your wants? What do you want? What do you want your future to look like? Are you willing to do what it takes to obtain some of your wants? Listen, it's not going to be for everybody, and it might not be for you. What I do know is we leaving out of 1 year. This year is old, it's gone. Then listen, 2024, you might as well say 2024 is out of here. We walking into 2025. What is your 2025 going to look like? Are you willing to focus on your wants, your needs, your desires, your happiness, your wishes? Are you willing to consider some of these things so that your life, not the life of nobody else, your life may reflect some of these things for you in your future? Get yourself together first. Once you get yourself together, then maybe you can help guide somebody else in the way that they should be going. Or I know we wear many hats. We got kids and people that look up to us, or whatever role that God has you playing in this life. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do for other people. But how you going to do what you got to do for somebody else if you ain't even doing what you got to do for you? So this is one of the main purposes of me focusing on these feel good messages. Listen, I want the message to feel good to you. I want you to kind of think about some of these things before you even start writing down a New Year's resolution, before you start spitting out things that you say you're going to do, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and you've been saying you're going to do that same thing for years and you ain't did it yet. So it's time to go about doing it in a different way. There's more than one way to skin a cat. So maybe the way that we tried it didn't work. So maybe if we can approach life from a different angle, we can be more effective in seeing these things play out for ourselves. So that is one purpose behind this. Man, I be so hyped. Listen, I be geeked up. I'm telling y'all should have seen me doing this message, just like kind of taking notes, and God is like speaking to my spirit, and I'm writing these things down, and I'm like so excited and wrapped up in the lesson and what God is speaking to me through the lesson. I wouldn't be able to teach it to nobody if God didn't give it to me the way that he gives it to me. So I'm grateful for that alone. But y'all think I be lying. Like, I really be geeked up over these messages. I don't care. Call it what you want. So it's reality. Living in the things that you want to see happen for your future is reality. Otherwise, how do you imagine what the rest of your life is going to look like if it's not going to look like what you want it to look like? What else is it going to be? Just the thought of it, does that feel good to you? If it's not what you want it to be, then what else is it going to be? And is that comfortable for you? Is the thought of it just being whatever, is that comfortable for you? Or do you want to be purposeful about allowing it to play out for you in a way that you need this thing to play out? Like, listen, I can't have it no other way. It's going to be this or nothing at all. If I can't have what I don't want nothing. I'm like a baby. Like, listen, I'm like a kid at the candy store. I'm kicking and crying and pointing at that big old colorful taffy. I want that one right there. If I can't have that, then I don't want nothing. I want what I want. So when are we going to get in the habit of focusing on what we want to see our future look like? Because in turn, I'm gonna get into this life lesson, I promise. In turn, we settle. We just settle for whatever. We don't get what we want and we stop going after what we want and we just settle for whatever. And settling is never a good feeling. Because then you sitting up there with your mouth all twisted up. All right, I'm done. I'm done because I be getting too excited. I really be trying not to go there with y'all. But now you mad. Now you mad because you done settled for somebody that you don't even want because you not willing to do the necessary work. You got to work on yourself first. You got to act like you got some sense before God give you what you want. Because he ain't going to give it to you if you don't deserve it. Y'all sitting up here asking God to do something for y'all. God like, why? I'm going to give that to you for what? When you acting like you ain't got no sense. So this is why, another reason why it's so important to do the internal work. All right, I'm done. Let me get into this life. Like, I got a ton of notes on wants. And hopefully by the time I get done this message on wants, you will look at the wants and desires of your heart in a different perspective, in a way that you can appreciate your wants a little bit more and kind of take them from here to not focusing on them the way that you probably should be focusing on them, to a place where they are right in front of your face and you can't help but to pay attention to what you want. These things are dancing around in your face. Your wants ain't going nowhere. They sitting there doing a tap dance all in front of your face like you doing everything else but focusing on what you really want in life. And in turn, you're not getting what you want in life because you ain't focusing on what you want in life. I told y'all God gave this to me. I told you I can't make this stuff up. All right, so here we go. So like I said, this week's topic is wants. So we're going to talk about what a want is, just so we can all be on the same page with exactly what a want is. Want can simply be things that makes us happy, or they can serve as a useful purpose in our lives. So a want can be something that simply makes you happy. That's it. That's it. Like, I like that. Like, it feel good. I want that. Like, this is nice. Like, we can just, like, be all up in that thing and it can just be nice. Like, your wants can just be something that simply makes you happy. And we don't focus on that because we too busy. I don't know what we doing. Listen, I don't know what y'all out here doing. Like, we just not even doing the thing that makes us feel good, makes us feel lovely, makes us feel happy. Some people feel like they don't deserve to be happy. Some people, and I actually heard somebody say this before, like, I made too many mistakes, and I ain't gonna say who the person is, but I heard somebody say, like, that it seemed too good to be true. Why you can't just accept it for what it is? So sometimes it's hard for us to accept our wants and the things that simply makes us happy. It's just, that is the purpose that it serves. Your wants is simply here to make you happy. Or it can serve as, listen, I do research on this. I came across this fact during my study. It can serve as, what does it say? So your wants can simply make you happy, or it serves as a useful purpose in your life. So how could you allow your want to serve as a useful purpose in your life? I can think of so many things. Your wants can probably lead you to your destiny, your calling, your purpose, what God has created you for. And this is just the thing that makes you happy, and it's your calling. You think it's not possible, but it is. Your want, something that you want that makes you happy, can be your calling as well. There's so many people that's living that truth. So that's just so we can be on the same page with exactly what a want is. So wants are important because they bring us pleasure. So who doesn't like pleasure? We all like pleasure. We all like for things to feel pleasing to us, and that's very important because we don't want to be in an uneasy spot or place, and we don't want to feel like where we are is a feeling of an unpleasing feeling, a constant feeling of unpleasantness. So our wants bring us pleasure. Your pleasure is important. Your pleasure is important. How good you feel on the moment to moment basis is very important. Your pleasure is important. You might not, I'm emphasizing on this for a reason, because it might not occur to you that way. Like, why we talking about my pleasure? Like it's whatever. Like it's here or there, whether, my life is pleasing to me or not. No, it's very important that you live a pleasing and fulfilling life. Your pleasure is very important in the life that you live and the people around you. It's not easy to watch your family members suffer and go through things that, even from the outside looking in. I have saw multiple people that I love dearly and still do to this very day. And sometimes it's some things that you can do to make the life of someone else more pleasing. And sometimes there's just there's nothing that you could possibly do to help someone's situation. And so you might try your hardest to make someone else's life more pleasing, and you can't do it. So pleasure is important. It's good for you to experience the pleasures in life. So wanting is built into who we are. So we're talking about wanting. I was going to say as human beings, but every living thing desires to want to be pleasured in one way or another. You're talking about animals, plants, whatever. So any living thing. So wanting is built into who we are born, to who we are. We are born wanting. We want to, I guess maybe as infants, when we leave our mother's womb, we still want to feel the comfort of our mother. We want to feel her warmth. We want to hear her voice. We get hungry. We want food and all of those things. So we're always wanting, and that is any living thing. So our wants are endless. As soon as one is fulfilled, here comes another want. So we're always wanting. We're just always wanting something. There is not a point in a human experience where we don't want something. And I'm not saying that is necessarily a bad thing. It's okay to want something. As a matter of fact, it's good to want something. So we want to feel cared for. We want to feel comforted and loved, and we want to feel a connection with others. We want food. We want comfort food. And I'm talking about food because sometimes we can want things that we don't necessarily need. And I don't want to get too much ahead of myself, but these are just things that we want. We want things out of life, and this is just things that will satisfy us emotionally. Some of us want to hit the lottery. Some of us, I bet there's a lot of us that want $1 million, want more money than you can handle. But there's things we have to know how to separate our wants from our needs as well. So just because you want $1 million, that don't mean you need $1 million. Some of us might get blessed with $1 million or hit the lottery, and your life will take a nosedive because you are not mentally or emotionally able to handle that much money. That's probably why God didn't give it to you. So wants are more important than we realize. Figure out what you want based on your needs and separate the two. So there's definitely a distinct difference between wants and needs. Separate your wants from your needs. Of course, everyone knows what your needs are. Needs are things that are absolutely necessary in order for you to survive. We need food, we need water, we need air to breathe, we need to be in good health and all of those things. And our wants are more things of leisure. Some of us want to be in a loving relationship. That don't necessarily mean you need one. You can survive without being in a loving relationship, but you don't absolutely need it. So some of us want a lot of materialistic things out of life. We want the house, we want the car, we want the clothes, we want the jewelry, we want to take trips and all those type of things, but that don't necessarily mean that you need them. Excuse me. So yeah, separate your wants from your needs. So I'm just kind of like trying to give us pointers, and I'm talking to myself too, because I hate to feel like I'm talking at anybody. I love to learn as I teach. So yeah, separating our wants from our needs is very important. Separating the two and kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty of how to go about obtaining our wants in a realistic way, going after your wants and actually being able to see your wants become a reality. Kind of see that thing like fold over a little bit, like this has gone from just simply something I want to me living out this experience. Like my wants have now became my reality. Who doesn't want that for themselves? I know I do. I want my wants to become my reality, but it's work that we have to do. These things are not going to just happen. We have to take certain steps. We have to work on ourselves internally, taking the necessary steps that we have to take and doing the things that we have to do to be in receptive mode of the things that we actually want in life. You probably have had some of the things that you wanted in life, me too, and probably just didn't even know how to handle it. And as soon as I received it, it slipped right through my hand, not even realizing that I finally got this thing that I was praying for so hard and so long. And because of me not being ready and not doing the internal work or taking the necessary steps, I wasn't even able to take care or keep the thing that I wanted so badly. So figure out what you want. I said that already. Figure out what you want based on your needs and separate the two. So getting in touch with your wants are easier for some than others. Sometimes we have to experience what we don't want to know what we really want. I have experienced that so many times in my life. I didn't know what I wanted in a mate. I didn't. And I settled so many times. And by me settling and getting what I did not want in a mate, it made me be able to come up with a complete list of what I actually do want in a mate. And now I'm able to check off, well, okay, he got this, he got this, he got this, he got this. And it's not hard for me to get what I want out of a mate, because I have already experienced what I did not want out of a mate. So yeah, so that is one example, one of my personal experiences of, me having to experience some of what I don't want for me to realize what I really do want. So we can't have everything that we want, but we should choose our wants wisely. Choose your wants wisely. You don't want to choose something that you think you want and then realize that you don't want it. And that could have been the reality of so many of us. I know how I have experienced that personally, from me thinking that I want something and not choosing my wants wisely. So it is very important to really think about what you want and before you go after it, because it might be some wants are more easily obtainable than others. So some of your wants might be right at the tip of your finger, and you go after that thing and you like, I got what I want. And then you like, I don't want this. Like, I don't even want this no more. Like, I thought I wanted it, but I really don't. So yes, choose your wants wisely. It's nice to have the things that you want in life. The hard part is maintaining them. And I did just touch on that a little bit. Listen, it's, you know what, like I said, sometimes it might be a little easier than we think it is. Like, getting your wants might not be the hard part, but once you get what you want, how willing are you to put in the necessary work to maintain that thing that you wanted so bad? Sometimes we get what we want and we get too comfortable. We get way too comfortable and we like, all right, I got it now. Like, well, who gonna take care of it? Who gonna feed it? And do whatever you gotta do to maintain it or take care of it or whatever. And a lot of us don't put towards the necessary work. That is probably one reason why divorce is at an all-time rate. I am a divorced person. I cannot judge people that have been divorced in their lives. That is not a fun place to be. It is literally like you are losing a part of you, especially after you say I do and you truly intend on being with this person for the rest of your life. Some people go into marriages with pure intentions and some people don't. I had pure intentions when I went into my first marriage, and my marriage not working out for me is one of the hardest things that I had to deal with. And I'm not going to put all the blame on my ex-husband, but maintaining what we had, like working as hard as we did in the beginning, and that can be the reality of so many people. Of course, the spark is not going to always be there. Yes, the honeymoon only lasts but for so long, but you got to put in the work to maintain what you work so hard for to get in the beginning. And sometimes it just flies out the window so quickly that it is not even important to a lot of us to maintain the relationship that we prayed for and all of that. So yes, it takes work to maintain the things that you want, and you can apply that to anything, to a business, to a relationship, to new homeowners. You done got your credit up, you got approved, you got the keys to your house, now you a homeowner and all this stuff, but you ain't gonna pay the mortgage. You better get your butt out there and do what you gotta do. You don't work so hard to get this brand new house and you gonna lose it to foreclosure because you ain't know that you had to maintain it. No, you gotta put in the work to keep it, to maintain it. So that's probably why some of us don't uphold some of the things that we want and work so hard for, because we're not putting in the necessary work to maintain the things that we wanted so bad and we worked so hard for in the beginning. Sometimes we just get too relaxed and we end up losing the thing that we wanted so bad. So you don't want that to become your reality either. So put your wants in order, from most satisfying to least satisfying, from easiest to maintain to hardest to maintaining, and from badly wanting a thing to somewhat wanting a thing. So I'm trying to help y'all. Get you a pen and a piece of paper and write a list of 10 things that you want in your life right now. Put them down. Some wants are easier to maintain than others. Put them down from hardest to easiest, from satisfying to least satisfying, like and from wanting it to somewhat wanting it. Like, you know, it don't really matter if I get that thing or not. So you put those things in order, and then you can really determine your most important wants, because that list of 10 things that you want might drop down to half. So now it's probably like 5 things that you really want and think that is very possible that you can see become your reality in your life. You probably only really if you had those 5 things that you really want in your life, and you kind of cut that list down, you'll probably live a very satisfying and pleasing life for the rest of your life. It's probably some unnecessary things on the list of things that we so-called been wanting in our lives for so long. So just try it. That's a little exercise. I'm giving y'all a little homework. You know, write a list of things that you want and kind of classify the things that you want, and then you know what? I want you to be intentional about shortening your list of wants, and just kind of mainly focus on maybe 5 things that you really want. First, write all the things that you want, and then classify the things that you want into things that you really want. How badly you want these things. What else? How did I put it? How badly you want them, how hard they are to maintain, or how satisfying these things are really going to be for you in your life. So get a clear understanding of your wants and ask yourself, why do you want these things? Your why is important. Your why is very important as to why you want the things that you want, because you want to have reason. Anybody with a sane mind is going to have a reason and a purpose behind wanting the things that they want in life. You don't want to have a unpurposeful life. So why you want these things are going to be so is going to be so important to you obtaining these things or not. And I mean, it don't matter how other people view your wants, because your wants are personal. That is between you and you and God, whatever your wants. You don't have to explain to anyone else why you want the things that you want. Just make it make sense to you. Put 2 and 2 together in your head as to why you want the things that you want. Just make it make sense. That's all I'm asking you to do. So yes, get a clear understanding of why you want the things that you want in your life. Ask yourself, why do you want these things? Take time out with your wants, because sometimes we may think we want something until we get it and we realize that we don't want these things at all. That's why I'm trying to get us to like kind of weed through our wants and pick out the unnecessary wants and keep the more valuable and pleasing and satisfying wants, and just getting rid of the things that we may think we want and all those type of things. Because when you actually get wind, and I'm speaking your wants over your life for you, because you will get what you want in life. If you want these things bad enough, listen, boom, I'm prophesizing over y'all right now. You're going to get what you want. But just make sure when you get what you want, that's going to be what you really want. Just make sure that is what you really want. I would hate for you to get that thing that you think you want and then realize that that ain't what you really want. So listen, that's why I'm just think about it. Think about spending a little bit of time with your wants. Take a couple minutes, take a half an hour while you talking to God. Pray about that thing when you wake up in the morning. Ask yourself, what do you want today? What do you want tomorrow? What do you want next week? What do you want next year? What do you want in these moments? Think about the things that you really want, because it might come to you more quicker than you think it is. Like, I thought I wanted that, but now that I think about it, I really don't want that. So I want you to get the things that you really want. When I pray for myself, I pray for the desires of my heart. these are the things that I want God to grant for me. I want God to grant me the desires of my heart. Not only what I want, but what I truly desire. I probably desire, it's probably some desires deep down in there that been marinating, and something that I done prayed for 5, 10, 15, I was going to say 50. I ain't even 50 yet. Before I even got here, back when I was a child, I don't know. There's probably things that I have been desiring that I forgot that was deep down in there. But God didn't forget. And I'm going to tell you how I know that too. Because God even recently have blessed me with the desires of my heart, and I done forgot that I desired. God was like, you forgot, but I ain't forget. I remember 10, 15, 20 years ago when I was like talking to God about how I want things to play out for me in my life. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to leave it alone. God heard me. I'm going to pray and have faith and just know that God is going to answer my prayers. And probably haven't even thought about it in 15 years. And God, like, the way that thing resurfaced, I was like, wow. Like, it's just mind-blowing. Like, you forgot, but I didn't forget when you asked how you asked, and in detail, the way that you asked, and here you go. And I was like, yo, like, that's the God. That's the God. I don't know what kind of God y'all serve. I don't. I don't. Listen, I know the kind of God that I serve. God is going to give you not just what you want. God is going to give you the things that you desire in your heart. I'm telling you, he's not going to forget about that thing that you prayed for 10 years ago. And he's going to give it to you how you asked him to give it to you. See, the thing with us is I choose to hold on to faith. That's just what I choose. That's just what I want to do. I can't make you do that just because that's what I want to do. If I don't do nothing else, I want to live my life with a faith walk. Like, I don't have to know what's on the other side. It could be pitch black over there, but I know who holding me up. I know who been maintaining me. I know who brought me this far. I know it ain't going to happen. God ain't going to let me go. He ain't going to leave me hanging. If he was going to do that, he'd have done that a long time ago. So I hold on to my faith. So it don't surprise me when God blessed me the way that he blessed me. It just amazes me that God amazes me all the time. I'm telling you, I can talk about some of these things because I experience it. And until you like truly experience that, you can't even really talk about it. And it's a wonderful place to be. So yeah, so I really want that was kind of a little bit emotional for me. Like, I ain't gonna say exactly what it is, but I'm just so glad that I serve a prayer answering God, and that God is going to cater to the details of my life and to the desires of my heart, and that is going to give me the things that I truly want in my heart and in my mind and in my spirit. See, y'all don't be wanting. I be wanting. Like, I be wanting some stuff, and I be like, listen, God, I want. And I feel that thing. I feel that thing in my spirit, because that's the only way I'm going to get if I say and feel what I want. And if you don't want it, how you going to get it? So I'm telling you, this is the importance of wanting. So yeah, so sometimes I already read that until we sometimes we may think we want something until we get it, and then we realize that we don't want it at all. So I don't want that to be your experience. I want you to be very careful in taking your time out what you want. Think about what you want. Think about your wants. Think about the things that you want. Repeat these things in your mind every day. Repeat the things that you want in your mind every day. I think about the things that I want often. I really do. I don't think that they're unreasonable. I don't think that they're unrealistic. I don't think that they're unobtainable. I think that there are things that I can actually make my reality. It might not seem realistic to you because my life is not your life. The way that I think is not on the same surface as we are individuals for a reason. So think about the things that you want and say these things, whatever it is, whatever that want may be, the thing that you want, repeat that thing in your mind every single day. Not only repeat it in your mind, but say them out loud. Manifest it, crystallize these things, start forming it and shaping them with words. Tell somebody who truly cares about you. Now, wait a minute. Don't go telling everybody, and don't tell anybody, because you're going to have people out here, they're not going to understand. Some people are not going to understand. That's why it's going to sound crazy to them. So I do want you to tell somebody the things that you want for yourself, but you got to be careful on who you tell. Somebody might put their mouth on your life or say the wrong thing or whatever. So there's nothing wrong with speaking your wants out loud, crystallizing your wants, making your wants from just thoughts to material things, and actually watching these things play out for you in your life. So when you tell somebody, make sure you tell somebody that genuinely and truly cares about your well-being and wants to see you happy. You ain't going to find one right around the corner. You might not even find one in your own household or your own family. I'm not saying that there isn't one person out there like that who just looks at you in a way like, I really would love to see you happy, get the desires of your heart, get the things that you really want in your life. Everybody should have at least one person that they can communicate with on that level. And if you don't, be realistic and honest with yourself about the fact that you don't, and keep it to yourself. When you say it out loud, just say it when you in the shower or something. You can crystallize it and manifest that thing anyway. If you don't have nobody that you think can be on the same page with you and helping guiding you and speaking life into you and telling you that they believe in you and how much they want to see you happy and speaking power and hope and faith into your life. If you don't have somebody like that, then you just talk to God about it. But I do think that we should talk about these things, talk about them as often as possible. Get excited about it. Get excited about it. This is your life. These are the things that you want to see happen in your life. Manifest your wants. Manifest your wants. Bring these things into reality. Manifest your wants. Then begin to go after these things in the best way possible. It might be easier to obtain your wants than you realize it is. And that is just the reality of it. Sometimes we can talk ourselves out of doing something before we even give ourselves the chance. And that is the reality of so many people, because we feed ourselves all this negativity about how we can't do it and all this stuff, blah, blah, bull crap. And I can't do it. And I'm not even going to try. And mentally, if you're not there mentally, then you would never be there physically. So I want you to believe in yourself and manifest your wants. Get comfortable with your wants. Get comfortable with your wants. Sometimes we just not comfortable with our wants because we think we don't give our wants the power and the credit that it deserves to take place in our life. But it's okay. It's okay. Get comfortable. Come on. Bring your one on in here. Let it sit right down next to you and let your wants eat with you and sleep with you and watch Netflix with you and take a shower with you and travel with you, go down the road with you and just create this picture in your own mind about your wants and get comfortable. Allow your wants to settle down where you are. It's okay. It's okay for you to be comfortable with the things that you want. You might not want a whole lot. You might be a simple man or a simple woman, and it might not take that much to make you happy in life. Whatever your wants is, whatever that might look like for you. Instead of not having, whether it's big or whether it's small, whether it's simple, whether it's complicated, whether it's easy or whether it's hard, no matter what it is, it's yours and you want it. You want it for a reason. It's a part of your makeup. That's how you were born. God gave you that feeling in your body and your heart and your mind and your soul. Everybody was born differently. You want what you want for a reason, because that's what makes you happy. That's how God made you. That's what pleases you. You don't have to explain yourself to nobody. You don't have to tell nobody. It don't have nothing to do with nobody else. You can simply become comfortable with your wants, and you can begin to make your wants your reality. Bring them closer. Bring your wants closer to you till you actually allow your wants to become your reality. It's okay. It is okay for you to get comfortable with your wants. So reconsider who you were when you were younger and explore some of your childhood wants. Like I said, it's a part of your makeup. What was you thinking about? Like, what made you happy as a child? That's what my second book, oh my gosh, is Walking Treasure, Discover Your Hidden Treasures. And I talk about, the things that you desired when you were a child, that thing that excited you, that made you happy, what you wanted to be when you grow up, and all of these type of things. That thing, it might seem crazy and stupid, and I'm grown now, and I can't be out here thinking like no child. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Bring yourself back to your innocence, when you thought the way you thought when you were a child, when you just purely wanted what you wanted as a child with no strings attached, when you ain't think about how you was going to get it and all those type of things, and then it didn't make excuses, and you just, was just so excited about wanting what you wanted as a child. What did I write there? Rediscover who you was as a child, and think about those childhood wants and the things that went through your mind when you were a child. If you take a few moments out to do that, that might bring you so much comfort and joy and peace in your mind, to just kind of think about the things that you thought about and you wanted when you were a child. So it's nothing wrong with doing that. What did you want for yourself as a child? I'm thinking about something that I want as a child. My stepmother said, I always said that I wanted a lot of kids. And guess what? Sakira got a lot of kids. I'm like, wow. I really said that? She said, yep. She said, you said that you wasn't going to take no bull crap from no man. That is true. I don't take nobody. Now, I don't put up with some stuff. I don't have to learn my lesson, but I will drop them. I will drop them just as quick as I pick them up. I will drop them and leave them alone. But my stepmother said, you always said you wanted a lot of kids and that you ain't going to never take no bull crap from no man. And I spoke those things. Now, my mother was fertile and I'm fertile. So, that might be like a genetic thing too. But yeah, Sakira got a lot of kids. I said that's what I wanted, and that's what I got. So I don't know. That's something to think about. Maybe I kind of manifested that. I don't know why. Well, who would ever say that they want a lot of kids? Lord have mercy, these doggone kids. Why would anybody manifest something like that? Because I ain't know. But you know what? Now to think about it, I believe that was something that God called me to do. So Tuesday, November 4th, my oldest child, oh my gosh, is going to be 13 30 years old. So I've been a mother since I was a child. So I do believe, like, for a long time, I believe that was something that God called me to do, that was my calling to, be a mother and to bear children and to be fruitful and multiply. And my children are my world, my children are my life. I put so much into being a mother, making sacrifices, learning my lesson over the years, and all that good stuff that come with being a mom. But wow, that just occurred to me, just thinking about some of the things. So think about something, your personal things that you said that you wanted when you was a child, and have any of your childhood once became your reality. I know some little boys may think about being a fireman. They hear the fire truck wailing up the street to go save somebody, and some little boy might say, like, wow, I want to be a firefighter, or I want to save lives. And some of them grow up to be firefighters. I don't know. Think about that spark, that fire, that thing that makes you happy. So yeah, some of your childhood ones, that kind of felt good, just thinking about the things that I wanted as a child. I mean, I'm old, I got gray hair, I can't really think about some of the things that I said that I wanted as a child. But yeah, that motherhood thing came true. But I love it. I will not complain. God bless my children. So most people try to fulfill their wants the wrong way. And I'm going to explain that. Sometimes we may say, sometimes we may be lonely or hungry, or I don't know. Sometimes say you lonely and you try to fulfill your loneliness with food. Or sometimes you might be feeling one way. We try to fulfill our needs. We try to mask our pain with drugs or alcohol or sex, or, and some people just go after their wants in a way that it's not really fulfilling that thing that you want. So go directly after your wants. Like, don't try to mask it because you don't have what you really want, so you're gonna cover it up to try to fulfill it with something else. So we try to maybe mask our emotions or traumas, or just fulfill our wants in the wrong way, instead of directly dealing with the issue at hand and kind of like going straight after your wants. So a lot of people, that can be the case with a lot of people, that they try to fulfill their wants in the wrong way, and that's going to lead you to an empty place and lead you somewhere that you may necessarily not want to be, is fulfilling your wants in a way that is not going to be very fulfilling directly to your wants. I'm telling you, these wants is something else. You got to really focus on what you want to fulfill what you want, because you might think you fulfilling your want, and in all reality you ain't fulfilling your want. You just going after it, because you think that you are fulfilling your want, and in turn, like, you'll still be left wanting this thing because you never really fulfill the thing that you actually want. So you want to fulfill your actual wants. Like, only eat when you're hungry. Don't eat when you're lonely, or when you're scared, or when you're sad, or when you're, excited, or have anxiety or something like that. Like, and a lot of people use food for comfort because food is very comforting. That's why, I'm talking about food, or even just using food for an example of people getting in the habit of fulfilling their wants in the wrong way. And wanting can create bad habits if you start fulfilling your wants in the wrong way. People, smoke cigarettes and weed and use drugs, and they trying to mask, what's really going on, when you just need to pray or something. Whatever the situation is, calm your spirit down. Every time things look a little shaky for you, that don't mean resort to something that's going to create bad habits, or probably just temporarily fulfill the emotion or whatever you have going on at the time. So you don't want to create bad habits by fulfilling your wants in the wrong way. I'm telling you, you got to be careful with how you approach your wants and the things that you think you want. So be in touch with your inner self and who you truly are before you begin to go after your wants. So you got to get to know yourself. A lot of people don't take time out to get to know who they truly are. A lot of people are not comfortable with who they truly are. A lot of people don't love themselves the way that they should love them, or don't practice self-acceptance or self-love, just loving yourself for who you truly are. So get down to who you truly are before you go after your wants. Honestly, I feel like that is probably one of the only ways that you are going to truly get down to your wants, if you know who you truly are. I mean, sometimes we can focus on the things that's going on socially, or on social media, and what other people are doing, and think you want a pair of sneakers or whatever just because everybody else is wearing. I hate that. I hate when people just do things just because everybody else is doing it. So you're not even necessarily fulfilling your own want. You're just doing things because it's socially acceptable, or that's what's popular nowadays. So be careful of the things that you take in on these social media platforms, and thinking that you want something just because you see that everybody else has it. Get down to who you really are and fulfill your personal wants, not because that's what's trending or what's viral or whatever, because what's viral might not be what's fulfilling for you. So now you're just stuck in a loop. You stuck with this thing, and you stuck wanting what somebody else wanted, or you have something that you thought you wanted just because everybody else got it. You don't want to get wrapped up in that loop. So get down to your inner self and who you truly are, and really understand your own wants before you go after your own wants. Be in touch with your inner self and who you truly are. It's better to want than to not want. So here's my question. I always got to ask you a question in the life lesson. What do you want? What do you want? Yes, I got y'all thinking. See, I got y'all thinking right now. Think about it. What do you want? I ain't gonna talk about what I want. You ain't gotta tell me. You ain't got to knock on your neighbor door. You ain't got to call up your mama or your best friend. You ain't got to talk. Just think about it. That thing is personal. I'm telling you, it don't have nothing to do with nobody else. That thing is so personal. It don't have nothing to do with nobody else. What do you want in this moment? Now, you can think about what do you want right now in this moment, or you can kind of, like shadow over your entire life. Like, what do I want that is going to fulfill me, or that I believe is going to fulfill me for the rest of my life? What do you want? See, ain't nobody never asked y'all that before, did they? Ain't nobody never asked you that, because they don't care. People don't ask you what you want because they don't care about what you want. You got to think about what you want for yourself. That's why it's so important. A lot of people don't care. Most people only care about what you can do for them. So this is what I'm talking about. This is why it's time for us to start focusing on ourselves, especially coming into a new year. What do you want? And I know a lot of people got that people-pleasing thing down to the max. Like, they so good at doing everything to please everybody. You chasing after everybody. You want to be accepted. You want to be liked. You want to do everything else to make everybody happy and all that. Even to my people pleasers. Listen, I love y'all, but in 2025, we ain't people pleasing no more. We gonna leave people pleasing in 2024. The only people we gonna worry about pleasing is ourselves. So what do you want? Yes, I asked you that question. No, it ain't none of my business. And you ain't got to tell me. You ain't got to drop it in the comments or none of that. But think about it for yourself. What do you want? What do you want out of everything that I just talked about in the past? How long I've been on here? Almost an hour or something. Out of everything I done talked about, you should be able to narrow down just a little bit towards the thing that you want. Ask yourself, and you only have to, it ain't no urgency. There's no urgency in answering it or thinking about it. You might have to think about it for a little while before you really get down to what you really want out of life. Maybe you only want to think about what you want in this moment. Maybe you want to take my advice on that little homework I dropped on y'all about kind of weeding out your wants and thinking about the things that you want and kind of ciphering out your wants, putting a list of your wants from the hardest things to obtain to the easiest things to obtain, to the things that you badly want, to the things that you somewhat want, and the things that's going to be most satisfying and the things that's going to be least satisfying, and just kind of write you a list of the things that you want. But maybe if you can kind of like boil it down to one thing, if you can kind of just like narrow it down to one thing that would probably make a huge difference in your overall life, then what would that thing probably be? I ain't gonna tell y'all mine. I ain't gonna tell y'all mine because y'all gonna judge me. Y'all know how y'all is. It ain't none of y'all business. I don't care. I'm keeping mine to myself. Mine ain't none of y'all business and y'all's ain't none of my business, but think about it anyway. What do you really want? What do you want? What do you want? Think about the things that you want, or think about that one thing that you want. Figure out what you want and aim to fulfill it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with aiming towards the thing that you want to fulfill in your life, fulfilling your wants and fulfilling your needs. See your wants and believe that you can have anything that you want in life. Believe it anyway. No matter what it is, it might seem unrealistic to somebody else, and she crazy and all this type of stuff, and who he think he is, and he talking about he going after this or going after that. Believe it for yourself in your own heart. It ain't none of nobody's business. Believe that you can have all the things that you want in life. Believe it anyway. Believe it with your whole heart. This don't have nothing to do. This is between you and God. This is between you and God. They can't help you. The people that's judging you can't help you. And if they could help you, they probably ain't going to help you anyway. Trust me, I know. So go after the things that you want and believe in your heart that you can obtain those things. It's okay for you to want. It is okay for you to want. So that is how I ended that message on wanting. I do have an affirmation and a quote that I am going to leave you guys with, but that message on wanting, it doesn't necessarily have me wanting more, but it makes me look at my wants in a way that I believe I can have the things that I want in life. It kind of makes me more comfortable with my wants and believing and accepting that the things, that is nothing wrong with me wanting the things that I want in my life. My happiness, my peace, my joy, my future, my love, my family, my children, the things that I want. It don't have nothing to do with nobody else. I want to be able to get comfortable with the things that I want. I want to be able to get excited about my future and about my life and just the thought of me getting the things that I want for myself. I want to be able to pray for my wants and believe that the things that I want for myself is obtainable and that it is possible for these things to come true. I want to be able to believe in my wants. I want to be able to carry my wants with me everywhere I go. I want to be able to think about them. I want to be able to strategize, think about what I have to do to get closer to my wants, even if I don't fully get the thing that I want. I want to be able to at least come close to the thing that I want. I want to be able to come as close as possible to the things that I want to see happen in my life, as closer than I ever been, and closer than I could possibly be. These things that I want for myself, I'm going to want them until I am no more, until these things become my reality. I'm not going to release my wants or let go of my wants, or not believe in my wants, or not think about my wants, or not talk about my wants. I am going to do what I want, what my wants, until my wants become what I want them to be. So think about that word, want. Think about that word. What do you want? What do you want for yourself? How do you want to see things play out for yourself and for your future and for your life? Not nobody else. Not what you want for your kids. I'm talking about what you want. My wants ain't got nothing to do with my kids. I know my kids want to see me happy. I want to see them happy too. I pray for them every day. I love them and all that good stuff. But I'm talking about what mommy want for mommy personally. This don't have nothing to do with them hard-head, ungrateful, entitled, thinking you owe them something because I ain't asked to be here, and smart mouth back talking behind kids. This ain't got nothing to do with them. I got grown kids. These kids grow up, they move out the house, they start their own families and all that kind of stuff. It's time for you to focus on what you want. And even if you're not at that place in your life where I am in my life, where my children are becoming adults or already have fully journey into adulthood, if you young, if you in your teens or in your 20s or whatever, it's never too soon or too late to think about the things that you want for yourself in your life. We should always entertain those things. We should never push those things to the back of our minds or put them on the back burner or think that we have to take care of everything and everyone else before we focus on the things that we really want. A lot of times people do that. And in turn, a lot of people never fully get what they really want out of life. They don't even focus on what they want. They don't know what they want. How you going to get what you want if you don't know what you want? So I want y'all to kind of take that into your 2025, kind of slide into your 2025 with some of your wants on your mind. Oh my gosh, it is the end of 2024. I'm trying to help y'all. I'm trying to help y'all get this happy new you going on and kind of jump into a life that you want to see being played out for yourself. And you know what? Don't have it any other way. Don't settle. We ain't settling in 2025. That's what we not going to do. Don't have it any other way. Stand firm on your wants. Don't bend or break because that ain't working for everybody else. And I got to think about them before I focus on what I really want. And if I can't do that and satisfy them, how about you worry about satisfying them later? And I don't care who it is. And I ain't no offense to your children or your mama or your granddad or none of that, but all them gonna have to wait, because in 2025 you gonna focus on what you want, and your granddaddy gonna love seeing you happy. He just is. He just is. He gonna love to see you happy. You never know how many people might get joy out of seeing you with a smile on your face. Do it for yourself and do it for everybody else. Do it for your haters. Do it for your haters too. Don't forget about your haters. Listen, we're going to be happy in 2025 by all means necessary. And we not settling for nothing that is below our happiness. So focus on what you want. Focus on what you want that is important. It is going to change your life. Listen, y'all got me on here hype and excited, ready to slide into 2025 and focusing on the things that I want in life. I want to see some major things happen for myself in my life, and I'm very detailed. I'm very detailed when I pray and when I talk to God. Now that I see the kind of God that I serve, God will reveal himself to you through your prayers as life goes on. He's not going to give it to you initially, because I know I wasn't ready for the things that I prayed for 10 or 15 years ago. God had to do a couple things to me and through me before he began answering my prayers for me. But I'm grateful for answered prayers, though. I am very grateful for answered prayers, and I'm like, oh, thank you, God. Now that I know you are going to answer my prayers, I'm telling God what I want in detail. I want this, like this, like this, like that. God cares about the minor details of the things that you want in your life. And he showed it to me, because I believe there's no other way that my happiness can be as fulfilled as it is, down to minor detail, had not it been for the greatness of God. I can't point to anything else. Like, where else could it come from? So pray over the things that you want in your life. I'm telling you, you have to pray over those things. You have to do some work down with inside of yourself, kind of prepare yourself, get yourself in receptive mode, because you want to be able to receive the things that God wants to give to you. God wants to answer your prayers. You just might not even be in a position that you're ready for your prayers to be answered. So start doing what you have to do for yourself, so you can receive the things that you want. You want to be able to receive these things. You want to be able to receive these things in good spirit and good nature, with a pure heart and good intentions, and fully be able to enjoy and handle the things that you really want in life. So start working on yourself before 2025 get here. Oh, woof, child. I'm trying to think how many days we got. We ain't got that many days left in 2024. I try to help y'all introduce my New You Challenge to y'all in June. That is the 6th month of the year. I am loving this feel good streak of feel good messages that I got going on for the end of the year. I know that they will be coming to an end soon. So we got some more feel good messages left. Today is the 2nd. Y'all got a couple more feel good messages left. I'm gonna see what God gives to me next, but I would love to continue to give you guys some feel good messages, hopefully that is going to kind of help guide you into 2025 in a way that it is going to be very effective on the way that your life is going to